So I would just like to throw some facts about what is one of the biggest challenge which is being faced by Indian youth. So if you can see some of the figures, 1 out of 3 in the youth age group are not having a job. Government still continues to be the one of the biggest recruiter in India, and everyone knows that one of the biggest challenge of the growth that we have seen is that the growth has not been inclusive, and there are a lot of claims that the Indian growth has been without further employment. And the another big fact or number which is there is that 20 to 30% of the youths who are graduating every year, they are either not getting a job or most of them are getting a job which is below their potential or below their degree and qualification. So now what is Online Tayari doing about it? So we aim to become India's largest platform which can enable anyone, anywhere in the country to realize their career potential. And how we are doing it? First of all, we have focused on the mobile platform because that can be accessed by anyone, even thankfully now youth who are even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they are also getting access to smartphones and they are also getting access to limited internet. Secondly, one of the most interesting and amazing factors that more than 95% of the content in India, which is online, is in English. And very less content is in Hindi and other regional languages. So we found that there's a major gap in terms of the content which people are looking for. Especially when we look at various exams, all these major exams are conducted in either English, Hindi, or regional languages. But students don't have access to anything which is other than English. 50% of the students give exams in these regional or Hindi language, but there's nothing which is available for them. Third problem which we thought is very important is that many education companies were there before us also, but they were focusing on very elite exams like IIT, CAT, and GMAT, all these exams, which is very niche, definitely very profitable, but at the same time, it is reaching out to a very limited audience. We focus on those exams which are at the mass level. We have started with the government exams like civil services, banking, SSC, state level exams, where more than 1 crore people are appearing for these exams every year. And this is a segment where there's a huge gap in terms of study material which is not available to students. They don't have access. They have to come to major cities to get any kind of study material. And there's no guidance available. So there's like very limited resources which is available for the aspirants. So the main problem is, as I mentioned, that there's no guidance. Students don't know what kind of study material they should look at, they should access. Then another problem is that the distribution channel of major publications and coaching centers is limited to metros and tier 1 cities. So people from smaller cities, either they have to move to these bigger cities or they also sometimes come and get material and then go back. So it is becoming very difficult and very expensive for them to prepare for these kind of exams. And third, as I mentioned earlier, the language is the biggest barrier. So how we are solving it? We have, as I mentioned, we have developed a mobile platform, and we get content from various publications, top publications and coaching institutes who are providing us material, and this material is then made available to students. They can buy it, as well as there's a lot of free material available on our platform. They can download it, and then they can also access it offline. So after that, once they download it, they can attempt and they can read and use that content anytime, anywhere. And for the coaching institutes and the content partner, we are providing them a platform through which they can reach out to students all across India and they can target them in a focused manner. So students come on our platform, they discover what kind of courses they need to prepare for, what kind of exams are there, they prepare using various study materials, then they can take tests, they get their performance, they can compare their rank all across India instantly. Then they can also discuss in our student community forum where we get hundreds and thousands of questions every day, and other students answer those questions. They are experts also who answer those questions. So that's the platform. The impact that we believe we have created is that we have are almost 3.5 lakh students who, or users who come on our platform on daily basis to get the content to prepare for various exams. We have 50% of our users who are coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and even from very remote rural areas spread across India. We have more than 750 million questions have been attended on our platform, which showcases that people are actually getting a lot of value from our platform. And another interesting fact is that 25% of our users are females, and that is, we believe, is a very good number in terms of making sure that we have more participants among the youth. Mohandas Pai, one of our esteemed investors, he believes that online Tayari can influence and impact students all across the country, and our multilingual approach is really going to take us to that place. To close our presentation, just some numbers about the kind of success stories that we have created. We've just mentioned two profiles. One guy who got selected in Delhi Constable exam last year. He didn't had a job, and this was his first job. Then we have another Mohinder who is currently working with a bank, but he got selected in CTET, and now he's looking forward to a teaching career in a government institute. That's all from our side.
Sir, we are living in online all information,
Right.
but there is some fake information also is there about the job concern and how to save from that problem. Our young generation is searching job and they are online searching everything, but some fake information is there and some young generation is going to exploit their money and time and many things. So how to save? How do we can share the genuine source?
How can we share?
I think his query is that how do you ensure that the content which is being provided is genuine?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the content, as I mentioned earlier, that we are sourcing content from various top publishers and content partners. So it's not that somebody is creating it without any experience. So our focus was always on building the tech part and creating a platform which is all inclusive. But we thought that there are a lot of people who are generating the right content, who have expertise of decades and decades, and who can provide that very, very high level of content. So we are focusing on making sure that we are able to provide that access to that content, as well as also provide the content in multiple languages. So right now people don't have that content in multiple languages. Our focus is to create the content or get the content in multiple languages. And as I mentioned that we are sourcing it from top publishers. So through them we are able to ensure that the quality is good. We also have our in-house subject matter experts who take care of quality and keep a control on it.